June is Groomers Awareness Month. Firing squads for all groomers. We're starting off really strong with this one, aren't we? Because listen, I think the fact that we don't like grooming is kind of universal. It's just that we view different things as grooming, and some of us are just very wrong about it. Because being like, hey, some people are gay, some people are queer, some people are trans. So, just so you know, if you have questions, ask. Isn't grooming. Being like, hey, you have to believe in this thing because that's the right way to live, and everything else is being a heathen. I think we can call that grooming. Because just showcasing that different things and different ways to live someone's life exist. It's just educating, it's not grooming. What are you talking about? Hello baby queers, and welcome back to my channel. I think it is our first time on Insane People Facebook. I don't know why I chose to do it this month, but I did. I decided, hey, let's try something fun. Well, let's decide if it's fun at the end of this video, actually, but still, you know the deal. Before we continue with the memes, y'all gotta get hydrated, grab some water, or some tea, whatever else you like to drink. I personally have iced coffee again, because I'm gay and I have to. Are you hydrated? Good. Let's go with the memes. Everything is a conspiracy. As for the wildfires and crazy air quality, my god is screaming this is the climate change equivalent of 2 weeks to flatten the curve. I won't comment on how these fires started, naturally versus manufactured. Doesn't actually matter at the moment. What matters is that you think critically and make decisions that make sense for you. I'm literally not in the US. But things like this have happened in Europe as well, where a volcano went off and for 2 weeks, plane flights were cancelled and everything because of the ash in the air and everything. And it was literally noticeable, but it's still the air didn't look as bad as it does in New York at the moment. But you wanna look at the air quality and the intense smoke in the air and decide that it's a conspiracy and that it isn't actually a safety risk or a health risk, and that maybe sometimes these rules are put in place for a reason. Okay, cool. The brown-black trans stripes make the rainbow flag like pure shit. Hopefully someone will take a bucket of paint and throw it at this nonsense in Bristol. Absolutely disgusting. Glad to see all these trans lovers leaving my page. Freaks with freak views, get on a plane and leave. Whites only, please, next. Let's keep my page clean, don't need that filth either. You're aware that of course people are gonna leave your page because they don't want to put up with your nonsense, right? That they're like, okay, you're just a hateful piece of shit. I don't need that in my life. So they're just gonna unfollow you or unfriend you. It's just Facebook, it's unfriending, isn't it? But anyways, you're aware that just makes sense, right? Because if I see someone and I don't agree with their opinions at all, of course I'm gonna unfollow them. Sometimes it's good to look at other opinions because you don't want to get stuck in one lane, really. But there's a difference between having a different opinion and just having absolute issues of being so racist and homophobic and transphobic that it isn't even a different opinion anymore of, oh yeah, I just don't like a certain thing or I think differently about this thing, but saying, hey, these people don't deserve rights, and having them celebrate themselves and have pride in who they are is disgusting to me. So I want to throw paint at a pride flag. That's not an opinion anymore, man. So yeah, people are gonna unfollow you. Obviously. Everyone is welcome here. Great, now there's a queer church in this thing. This stupid shit is getting too close to home now. See, this is what's funny to me. They say this church literally put up a rainbow flag Because queer people know they're usually not that welcome at church. Like, too many queer people have had experiences of just being shamed in church or discriminated against or just hated on in churches or church environments. So this church put up a queer flag and be like, you know what? Everyone is welcome here. That's not going to happen to you here. So if you believe and you want to go to church, you can safely come here. And these people decided, no, it's a queer church now, just because they don't hate queer people. Sure. Because saying everyone is welcome here obviously means only queer people. I guess, in their head, at least. Listen, I don't get it either, but they said it, not me. Kids figure stuff out, some at very early ages. When my daughter was growing up, there was this little girl in her class that, even from kindergarten, was, very loose. Teachers constantly telling her to roll down her shorts, put her dress down, always all over the boys, etc. This was before social media, etc., so not very many negative influences available. Let's just say by middle school she was very popular. This comment was on a video of two toddlers hugging. You're aware that toddlers and preschool kids, elementary school kids, sure, they very quickly become aware that people think boys and girls are different, because they keep being told, okay, no, you're a girl, you have to do this, and you can't play so rough, and you have to do make sure you kind of stay clean, while boys just run around and are encouraged to whatever, play rough and play football, and I don't know. So kids figure out very quickly that people differentiate between boys and girls. But you're also aware that little kids pull the whole ew boys or ew you were touched by a girl. You're aware of that, right? I don't think you're making sense. But also toddlers, little kids usually don't care until you brainwash them into making a big deal about it. Also, please stop. Please stop immediately thinking of anything sexual when literal minors, literal toddlers on top of that, are hugging. It's just a hug, man. What's wrong with you? According to Off the Grid with Doug and Stacey, William Shakespeare was first recorded person to get a jab. So basically, the entertainers have been the puppet tool of the dark agenda for millennia. Shakespeare lived thousands of years ago, he was vaccinated, and this is what started the dark agenda? I think you're understanding what they're saying correctly. It's just that none of this makes sense. I mean, it's fair. When you think Shakespeare, you don't think 200 or 300 years ago. 4? I can't math. Isn't it 200 years ago? 2 or 3? I'm not sure. I am bad at telling time in general. But still, it's not that long ago. And also, I'm pretty sure vaccinations didn't exist back then. So, what? But saying, yeah, sure, entertainers and people who work in that industry influence people. Kind of true. And some people use that power for good. And some will use it for not so great things. But how are you going to stand here and be coming for Shakespeare, really, and saying that he started the dark agenda? What? I am very confused where you got this information from, really, if I want to call it that. Only God can define who we are, not the things that our flesh lusts after. Homosexual acts are a perversion of God's created purpose for men and women, and the transgender lie is causing healthy men to castrate themselves and become unable to reproduce. In a prayer, I saw a German flag. Then I saw the German flag become the pride flag. The law told me, pray against the root of homosexuality in Germany. I got the impression this means that the stronghold for the pride movement is in Germany. Then I began researching a bit and found out it's true. The idea of an identity based on sexual desires and the political movement supporting the idea originated in Berlin, Germany. The first gay rights organization was founded by Magnus Hirschfeld Scientific Humanitarian Committee. The same founder also started the Institute for Sexual Research, which is a clinic, research center, and the place that the first reassignment surgery was done in 1930. In the book Gay Berlin, Birthplace of Modern Identity, it shows that the term homosexuality was a German invention first appearing in a German language pamphlet in 1869. So if you're looking to spiritual map this curse, the origin is in Germany. Doesn't literally everyone who actually believes and prays is that God doesn't really talk to them? What? You saw a German flag and it became a pride flag. So apparently it's Germany's fault that people are queer. Personally, if that was true, it would make me a lot more proud to be German. I gotta be honest with you. But what? These people are wilding. Like, how did you... What? Does it make sense? No. Does a German flag look like a pride flag? Also no. It's creative. It's creative, I'll give you that, but it's also delusional. So does it still count as creativity if it's just delusion? We take no pleasure in reporting that the Cracker Barrel has fallen. A once family-friendly establishment has caved to the mob. Okay, this thing on the right, everyone feels at home, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging at Cracker Barrel, looks pretty old. So they were like already going for a kind of inclusive, everyone is welcome here thing, which literally means everyone is welcome, not just queer people or black people or whatever. It literally just means all people. And now you want to be mad at the LGBT Alliance bringing the front porch to Pride? Sure. Be mad at it, I guess, but I'm confused as to why it's a surprise to you that companies go with the time. What? What's the gap in your resume? Oh, I just rejected the forced medical procedure, refused to be told what to do, ran a few rallies, posted some memes, fought the government, and tried to awaken the masses. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. Like, sure, you could use fear strategies to literally influence everyone. But to stand there and pretend like it wasn't a health risk at all is stupid, because these people refuse to believe the thing is real or that it was dangerous at all, because sure, some people really just didn't feel anything. I felt like shit for like 2 days. I was so tired, I was so dead. And then I was like rested enough that I started becoming better again. But I never get sick. Even if other people around me are sick, I usually don't ever get sick. So I'm surprised it managed to take me this long. Well, I'm not actually surprised it managed. Like, I managed to not get COVID until this year. Like, early this year. I don't know how I got it this year, but I did. Oh well. But still, to pretend like it wasn't dangerous to certain people, especially like people who already have health issues, it's kind of stupid. Some people are not happy about our local Pride event. Seriously, a drag show at this place, with the weekly farmers markets with kids. The town board that is allowing this should be forced to bring their children or grandchildren to this. It's time for parents to draw a line in the sand and protect kids from the grooming going on. All 6 of my friends and I talked about this today and think the same way, but no one says anything. Okay, you're aware that you're saying something right now, and you're aware that people keep saying shit like this. And we just keep saying, listen, it's just drag. Listen. We all perform our gender. It's just that drag queens do it way more fabulously. So if you're mad at that because they're more fabulous than you dare to be, that's a you problem, not a them problem. They're just out here living their best life and doing what they enjoy doing. How is that grooming? To be like, hey kids, it's okay if you're creative or if you want to express yourself differently. That's okay. And you want to hate on it. Sure, okay. A former and now retired grade school teacher and I posted something pro-LGBT for Pride Month, and this was in the comments. The commenter has been my main source of entertainment and for many of my more recent posts on the sub. So groom them and tell them that they should be something they're not. They need mental help, not groomed into something they're not. Groomers for Satan. You cultist fucks are sick as hell. What are you talking about? You're a cultist fuck who never learned a damn thing since grade school. Grow the hell up. Bro, just leave people alone. If you don't agree with them, maybe don't stick your 2 cents in. I apologize for the remark of a classmate of mine. He has now been blocked from my account. I'm so proud of my students who have stepped up to be happy with whom they are. I am forever saddened by those who have been hung, shot, or ended their lives because of fear of acceptance. I often feel I didn't do enough to help. Kudos to those of you who have chosen your destiny and are great, productive citizens of the United States. Yeah, literally, that's the thing. Like, how are we out here and be like, no, that's grooming? Telling kids that it's okay to be different and that it's okay to be who they are is grooming. Instead, you expect everyone to be the same and try to force them to be the same, which would definitely count as grooming because you're not being there like as a supportive parent. You're there to pressure your child into being exactly who you want them to be, which is straight and cisgender, obviously, and just not fall out of that. How's that better for anyone? Instead of being like, hey, it's okay to be who you are. I'm going to encourage you to be who you are and to do the thing that works for you. I still fail to see how that's a bad thing. So a Mexican beer just beat out Bud Light, Fairy Juice, as number 1 in sales. Now that's fucked up. Too damn many illegals in a Biden nation. Okay, because people prefer drinking a certain type of beer over the other. That's a bad thing. You're aware that people who are born in America, who were literally born in the US and grew up there, and their grandparents and parents and everyone grew up there, can still decide to drink a different type of beer that originated in Mexico. What? But no, you just want to be hateful. Right, I forgot that, sorry. So this is the bracelet my son made in school today. They teamed up each child with another student and called them buddy bracelets. By the way, he was teamed up with another boy. Y'all might think I'm reading too deep into this, but it is Pride Month, and let's decide to team the children up with the same sex to make buddy bracelets. Yeah, I do think you're reading entirely too much into it. It is literally pieces of plastic. And it's literally just a buddy bracelet. It is a bracelet. They decided to be like, hey, let's have these kids like team up and make a cute little bracelet. You know, why not? Why not? And you decide that it's too colorful, as if like most stuff for kids isn't super colorful. But you want to decide that it looks too rainbowy and that it's weird that 2 boys are friends apparently, or that actually, no, it's okay if they're friends. It's just bad if they show affection to each other because that's gay. And being like, hey, you're my friend, I appreciate you, let's make friendship bracelets, is apparently too gay. Sure, you are definitely reading too much into it. The problem with glasses in context that most people don't talk about. They don't allow people to absorb the nourishment of the UV radiation. These people aren't allowing the sunbeams to be administered directly into the retina. Okay, everyone's saying UV radiation is bad for you, especially in like higher doses. And then you're here saying that it's good for you and that wearing contacts and glasses, which people need to be able to see properly, is a bad thing. Seeing is a bad thing, people. Don't you dare be able to see. That's not good for your health, apparently. As if people who need glasses, if they go too long without glasses, quite often get dizzy from that. Or like feel like they have to throw up and might actually throw up. As if that is the better option. Like, people don't just, well, some people wear glasses just for style. Okay, cool, fine. People wear sunglasses so they don't fucking get blinded and can like still drive safely or walk safely and just not feel their eyes burning from the sun being too bright. But no, apparently that's all a bad thing, apparently. I don't know, man. How are people so naive? 99.999% of people who claim to have alternative mental conditions or biology or sexualities are lying. They are all lying. Most guys who say they're gay are not. They just can't get laid by women. So they're taking the path of least resistance. They have small dicks or weird personalities. Go on Grindr, it's only about sex. People who claim they're ADD are lying. They're just stupid and are easily distracted. Or literally nothing is wrong with them, they just can't accept that. Watch any self-recorded video where people claim to be mentally ill. It's only about attention. People who claim to be different genders are lying. They're trying to access men and women from positions of weakness as an act of subterfuge. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing bit. Go to the Egg IRL subreddit. It's only about sex and attention. This is not a hate post, it is just me trying to be real on the internet. I've taken the pills, I've taken the dick, I've been in the discords. It's all lies. If you're young, stay away from these alternative communities. It's just horny, misery loves company men and their sycophants. How can the internet, the cynical, hateful internet, not see how often people who claim these sorts of things lie? Okay. What? Sure, it's the internet. People probably, well, actually people in general probably lie more often than you think they do. And sure, especially on the internet, you can probably get away with it better, because if you don't know someone personally, you don't know how they normally act, so you don't know how they act when they're lying, and they can just like practice what they want to say beforehand and then just lie. Sure. But how did you decide that people aren't queer at all, or that mental illness doesn't exist, or that having a neurospicy brain doesn't exist? Because we're just doing this for attention. Sure. We just decided that we don't want to be normal, we would rather be hated on or discriminated against. So we decided to go on the internet and say we're queer, or say we have ADD or ADHD. Sure, of course, that makes perfect sense. You want to call people who claim to have ADD stupid, but then you say shit like this. Impressive. Sure. I want the MacBook back. Sorry to borrow? No, I want it back to keep. I see you posting stuff in the group chat about how much you like it, and you're doing things I didn't even know I could do. I understand, I'm sorry you regret selling it. If you give me back the 500, you can have it back. But it's my MacBook. I don't want to pay for it, I want it back. I paid more than that when I first got it. I understand that, but I paid you $500 for it, and you want it back, so I want my money back. Please just give me back the MacBook. I want all the editing stuff you put on it. Is this a joke? Are you fucking with me? Final Cut is $300. I'm not giving you $800 in product back for free because you regret selling it. I should call the police for theft. This isn't fair. You posted your MacBook online. You were like, hey, I'm selling this for $500. The person was like, here, $500. I get the MacBook. And now you want to pull this shit? You literally sold it. You literally said, here, I'm willing to sell this for $500. And the person was like, okay, I'm willing to give you $500 in exchange for the product. That's literally how selling something works. They didn't even have to offer to sell it back to you. They could have just been like, yeah, well, you sold it, it's too late for you. They literally could have be that way and not even offer to sell it back. But you're just unhinged, man. That's not how selling works. I'm so glad my aunts Rebecca and Sue took me to church when I was a kid. That's why I don't dress like a unicorn and beg for acceptance. Hey, unicorns are cooler than you'll ever be. Listen, they're just cooler than you'll ever be, I'm sorry. But what? Listen, if you love going to church and you're just like literally a cishet person who's very religious and loves going to church and loves dressing like a very whatever classic or moderate way, okay, that's fine, that's cool. Like, if you want to do that, if that's what fulfills you and makes you happy, I don't care. If you do it to make yourself miserable, I don't actually care either because it's your life. But if you start to make other people miserable and try telling other people what to do, that's where I have the issue, you know? I was walking through Target in the kids section when my daughter found this sweatshirt. Not knowing what it meant, she wanted to get it because of the color. I explained how it's inappropriate. Thanks to Target, I'm having to explain to a child way too young about phrases having to do with jizz. No thank you. I cut up my Target cards. I will never take my kids into a store that grooms children. It's literally just a purple shirt that says kinda salty. I mean, do I still think it's weird to put on a kid's shirt? Sure. But that's just... It's not about jizz. It's just about being... How do I explain being salty? Kind of snarky, kind of negative. I still don't think we should be putting that on kids' clothes, but not for the same reason you do. Kind of salty. How would it even make sense to put a phrase about jizz on a girl's shirt? Because y'all love ignoring that trans people even exist in the first place. Second of all, it's a kid's shirt, so they're not going to do that. Well, okay, straight people put some weird shit on kids' clothes. They do put some weird shit on kids' clothes. But still, that's not about... What? Okay, sure. Is it a boy or a girl? We'll let the kindergarten teachers decide. Haha, so funny. Isn't there also a subreddit called Facebook memes? Because I feel like it's probably gonna be just as frustrating, but if you want me to do it, I'll do it, we'll suffer together, okay? But, y'all, I don't even know what to say anymore. That's not how this works. That's certainly not how any of this works. That's not what kindergarten teachers do. That's not how gender works. That's not how anything of this works. Okay, I feel like that's a good place to end this video because otherwise I'm gonna just go completely insane. Because these people want to just be hateful and then pretend they're not being hateful. Like the guy saying, oh yeah, no, people with ADHD don't exist, people aren't gay, they just can't get laid by women. They want to say shit like that just doesn't make sense, and that is hateful, but don't want to admit it. Or just straight up admit, I don't know what's worse, those people or the ones that straight up admit, no, I hate gay people. Because y'all do, whether you admit it or not. But either way, I guess we're gonna stay far away from you, or as far away from you as we can, and just kind of poke fun of you from the distance, like we're doing with videos like these. That's probably kind of safe, at least, you know? But anyways, I hope you somewhat enjoyed these memes, or at least making fun of these people. I don't know. I hope you're hydrated, and I'll be back in 3 days with my next video.